Welcome to another Cortecloud tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to be discussing the front reveal of the cabinetry, how you can apply different reviews to your cabinets and get different results aesthetically or functionally. So first of all, I'm going to access Cortecloud.com, select my country US, and I'm going to log in my account. I'm going to create a new order and select modules and my service provider. I'll just name my client, in this case John, and let's begin by applying some changes to the base cabinets with 2 doors. So I'm going to search for a 2-door base cabinet and add it to the project. I'm going to specify my room, in this case kitchen. I'm just going to round up the measurements, so 35 inches, 27 and 21 depth. And I'm going to select my materials or my boards that I'll apply to the cabinet. I'll use 3/4 white and a 1mm edge band white as well. For the back, I'll apply the 1/4 back white, and for the fronts I'll apply a different color just to be easier for us to recognize the changes we applied to the cabinet. So I'm going for beige. I'll leave the edge band white so the changes are easily viewed. Okay, so I'm going to Preferences, Advanced, and we're gonna be discussing mostly the front review preferences. So first of all, I'm gonna apply some changes to the front review. And having understood the simple changes, we're going to combine some changes with the stretchers and handle types. So first of all, I'm going to apply the front review in reference to the floor, which is this slack or this review we have here under the doors. And I'm going to change from 1/8 to say 7/16. And as you can see, you have a different review applied to the bottom of the cabinet. I'm going back to 1/8. I'm going down here to the top frontal review, which is the same as the bottom review, but applied to the top. In this case, 1/2 inch. Now we're going to apply lateral review to the doors, or we're going to change the lateral review, which is 1/8, and I'm going to apply 5/16. And as you can see, at the right and the left side, the review has changed by modifying this preference. But I can separately change the review from the sides if I modify this parameter, tweak for lateral review. I'm using the synchronize pattern, the synchronize mode. If I change to independent, where I can separately change the left and right reviews, I will use this configuration instead. So front review right, I'm going to apply 5/16, and as you can see, I've just changed the right side of the cabinet, while the left side hasn't changed because I didn't change the front review left. If I want to apply some different review to the left, I'll apply like 1/4 inch, and as you can see, I have 1/4 review here on the left and 5/16 here on the side. If I go back to the tweak and use them synchronize in the synchronize mode, you can see that both reviews came back to the same measurement as defined here on the lateral review. I'll go back to 1/8 again and leave the same review at both sides. Moving on, you can see that we have the frontal review for vertical stretcher. Why is this review higher than the reviews we have used and is not applied to the frontal stretcher? Because the stretcher is in an horizontal position. If I change the stretcher to the vertical orientation, this review is going to apply. So let's do this. Let's go to stretchers and let's change the frontal stretcher orientation and apply a vertical stretcher. And as you can see, the front review has already changed according to that configuration. So let's change to 2 3/4. And as you can see, as I change the front review, it applies when the stretcher is vertical. If I go back to stretchers and set the frontal stretcher to an horizontal position, again, we're going to have the top frontal review applied to it. One last thing about this door configuration or door review is the spacing between doors. I can change the spacing and it's going to apply to the slack we have between doors in this cabinet. Okay, so I'm going back to 1/16 and I'm going to hit save and move on to the next module. Our next example is a drawer cabinet, base drawer cabinet. Let's grab this one. I'm going to set materials white edge band, 1/4 white back, and the fronts, let's apply the beige again. And I'm going to preferences and I'm going to set just 3 drawers to this cabinet. Okay. Let's go to advanced front review. As you can see, we've got the same configurations as to the base cabinet. What has changed is some of the possibilities, which is the drawer front review. We can change the spacing between drawers. As you can see, if I change this configuration to 1/4 inch, I'm gonna get a bigger spacing between drawers. And the bottom, lateral, left and right, stretcher, all the same configurations we've seen in the first module apply to this cabinet as well. I'm going back to 1/16 front review, and if I go to stretchers and set the frontal stretcher to a vertical position, you can see that the same review we've applied to the doors applies to the drawers as well. So I'm gonna go back to horizontal stretcher on the front. I'll hit save, and let's grab another base cabinet. This one, equal drawers and double door. Let's go to preferences, and we're gonna notice something very important if you are working with cabinets that share a divider. In this case, the divider shares drawers on the right side and doors on the left side. So if you go to advanced front review, we can see that door spacing between doors applies to this case and to this case as well. So applying this configuration to drawers and doors on the same cabinet has an aesthetical reason, because you can picture, if you don't apply the same review to both of those fronts, we're gonna get different slacks or different reviews for the same cabinet, which is aesthetically undesirable. So that's the reason why we apply the same spacing between doors and drawers in this case. Save this one. I'm gonna grab drawers again. Gonna get this horizontal drawer cabinet. As you can see in preferences, advanced, front review, the spacing between drawers applies to these drawers and this as well. So the spacing between doors affects doors and drawers when used in the same cabinet. Okay, so as you can see here, the drawers share the same spacing if we change the configuration. Now let's have a look at a particular case when we apply the Gola handle to the cabinets. So let's go back to the 2-door base cabinet and let's go to preferences. On basic, we're going to apply stretcher handle type, which is aluminum. I'm going to use the Gola handle for this. And on apply L handle stretcher, let's move to yes. As you can see, we've got a bigger front review on the top because of the Gola handle we have just applied to this cabinet. Okay, so let's make some changes. Let's go to advanced cabinet assembly and let's select stretcher handle construction between sides. No, we're gonna put opening on sides. By changing this configuration, we're gonna dig a recess on the sides for the handle to pass through the sides and like connect to the next one. So if you use this kind of handle, we go to handle and we can make some changes on the configurations in this part, which is gonna affect the front review as well. So if we change this configuration, front overlay, let's say 7/8, you can see that the door is going to protrude a little bit more, passing the handle, give more space for the user to grab the door. If you go to 3/4, you're going to reduce the spacing. You can also notice that if we apply the Gola handle as we did, the frontal stretcher is going to be gone because we don't need it anymore. Just the rear stretcher is going to be produced in this case. And one last thing about using Gola handles. If we use curve overlappings, I'm going to save this module. Let's grab another one with 4 doors. This base cabinet, which has a divider which is going to affect the Gola handle. If we go to preferences and we set curve overlappings to yes, the Gola handle is going to cut a recess, dig a recess on the divider as well as on the sides. And one last thing, if you want to apply particle board handles, you just change the handle type to MDF or particle board, and you're going to get this result, which apply like tiny strips. That's going to give you the same result as the Gola handle on this cabinet or in other cabinets. If you go to drawers, you basically have the same configuration. On preferences, if you apply L handle, it's going to affect the superior part. And if we set the intermediate handles to L handle, this is the result we're going to get. If we change the stretcher handle type to aluminum, you're going to get the Gola and advanced cabinet assembly, stretcher handle construction, opening on sides. You're going to get the recesses as well. So if you apply the same configurations to the drawer set, this is the result you're going to get. And if you go to basic and set the handle type to MDF particle board, basically you can do the same changes as we've discussed before. So that's basically a quick review on the front reviews that you can set on Cortecloud's library. If you got any questions or comments, just let us know on the comments down below, and I hope to see you soon in another tutorial.